out on Twitter saying, does anybody want to come and talk about their chemistry stories? And I thought, I'm a millennial. I love talking about myself. Of course I'll come. But actually, I do have quite an interesting chemistry story because I haven't had a traditional path through. As you might have gathered by the pots and pans comment, I actually used to be a chef. I know, I don't really look like a chef. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I ended up a chef, and then how I ended up here. They are more connected than you might think. So if you can cast your mind back to the heady days of summer 2008, Adele has just released her first album. Yeah, Donald Trump is still just a reality TV star. And if you mention Brexit in the pub, people think you were a bit weird. So, great times. And I was actually doing a chemistry degree. So, fairly normal to start with. I'd gone to my A-levels, gone on and done chemistry, except I kind of did chemistry by accident. I wanted to do a law degree, but I didn't quite have the grades. So I ended up doing this weird half-half chemistry law degree, which obviously doesn't exist anymore, because that is mental. But 2 years in, and it just didn't really work for me. I kind of liked it, but I'm the kind of person that likes pretty much everything, and it didn't really resonate. Some things are going on in my life, and it didn't work. So I left, potentially stupidly. And I actually went, before as a chef, and worked in the city. Yeah. And then in September 2008, Lehman Brothers collapsed, and that all went a bit tits up. And my friend suggested to me, I wasn't really sure what to do. My friend suggested to me that, why don't you become a chef? And I can actually see he's over there. There's Dr. Brian, who suggested I became a chef. This is all his fault. You can say something to him afterwards if you like. Yeah, so I thought, why not? I'll be a chef. How hard can that be? Didn't really think anything of it. Idiot. So I signed up as an apprentice chef in a luxury hotel in Sussex. Yeah, pretty swanky. Turned up, and the Office of National Statistics says that just over 80% of chefs in 2016 are men. Yeah. And I imagine that was probably a little bit higher when I started in 2008. I walked into a brigade of over 20 chefs, and by being there, I doubled the women on the team. Yeah. Also, not a single chef I ever worked with had ever done their A-levels, let alone been to university, so I was a little bit different there too. And it was hard. I was dumped right in the deep end. All those things you see on TV about professional chefing, yeah, that's true, but they make it a bit nicer on TV. It was brutal, but it was amazing. I really, really loved it. And what I didn't expect was that having a scientific background, oddly, ended up super, super useful. Because I kind of had an understanding about what was going on in what I was cooking. I could kind of take what I'd learned in the laboratories and my undergraduate course, and I could approach food in a similar way. I also gave me this kind of weird ability that I was already weird. I was already a woman that had been to university. So all the chefs thought I was bonkers anyway. So when they hand down head chef to apprentice chef, these kitchen laws that are written in stone, and I went, yeah, but is that true? Instead of kind of some horribly devised kitchen torture, they kind of tolerated me asking all these questions, and this meant that I could really develop as a chef. I could be a bit more creative, a bit more imaginative, because I understood how things functioned a little bit more. I could then push them and develop them, and it was brilliant. I was quite good at it. And it also helped that at the time I finished training and I then worked, molecular gastronomy was becoming very much of a thing. And again, this meant that suddenly from being a bit of the weirdo in the corner, who's that little woman? She keeps talking about words I don't understand. I suddenly became a little bit in demand. People wanted to know why things didn't work. For example, we tried a new gelling agent on one of our dishes, and they couldn't work out why they'd been using lemon, and it didn't set. I was like, super acidic, kids. But it gave me some ability to help. So usually your professional qualifications in cookery take 2 years. I did mine in just under 6 months. And then, yeah, pretty good. I then went and worked in a restaurant up here in London, and I then became pastry sous chef at a restaurant in the Dorchester Hotel. You might have heard of. That's what I do. And I was really smashing it. And then it smashed me. I am not built to work in a kitchen. I am very small. And basically, my body broke. I ended up with RSI, if anyone's ever had that. Not fun. Yeah, not fun. I've actually got nerve damage all the way up through my shoulders and my neck, because being in a kitchen, you cannot show weakness. So I just covered for it until it got to the point where, and I hate being touched, I had to get my flatmate to clean my teeth for me because I couldn't hold a toothbrush. So all of a sudden, I went from this amazing career as a chef that I really, really loved to being on an NHS waiting list for surgery. But I was kind of okay. And I've been getting a lot of questions about how I became a chef and how I moved then back into chemistry, why I came back into chemistry. And actually, for me, they're not so different. And I thought this was an opportunity to finish my degree, because ultimately what I really enjoyed in the kitchen was I really enjoyed seeing how things worked and developing it further. And fundamentally, as a research scientist, that's what you do. You kind of have a look at how something works, and then you try and develop it further. So I went and I completed my degree, and I actually became a teacher while I was doing that, which is a whole other, I'm a lot older than I look, a whole other story. So I completed my degree, and when I did, I thought, oh, what should I do next? And here I am. I'm now a research student at Imperial. It's very, very wonderful. I've got to say that, those are my supervisors at the back. And it's been brilliant, and I'm not sad about not being a chef anymore, because I actually don't see it as different too much. I see that being a chef gave me these amazing skills, these amazing abilities that have made me a much better scientist. Had I gone straight through when I was 20, I would have been rubbish. I would never be here today. But this whole path has led me to where I am, and frankly, I'm pretty happy with it. And also, I can make a damn good cake. Thank you.